Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Adrian here from Real Talk Podcast with the crew, inshallah ta'ala. So firstly, Kaz, Haji Hassan's in the house. Also, we've got a special guest, which is Imam Luqman, who's one of the Academy of Life Scholars. So basically, on a more serious note, as of March the 12th, the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus as a worldwide pandemic, with more than 134,000 cases, 5,000 deaths, and active in 127 countries. A lot of things around the world are changing fast. Strict government border restrictions have been testing our politics, governments, and societies. Panic buying from consumers all around the world, with items such as toilet paper, tissues, painkillers, pastas, and tinned food. Stock markets also all around the world have experienced sharp downfalls globally, with economic experts predicting that Australia will head into a recession, and with major public sporting events in doubt, as well as non-essential social gatherings. In the US, they have restricted the gatherings to 100. Here in Australia, it's currently 500. And how does it affect the Muslim community, and are we as a community taking it very, very seriously? I'm just going to pull out an example before we get the opinions of my guest hosts, is that, for an example, Singapore had their first case in March, and they had, I think, about 3 or 4 cases, but they've minimized the impact of the extent of the spreading in Singapore. Italy, I believe, experienced their first cases about 2 weeks ago, and now that they have about 3,000 cases. So they haven't been able to minimize the impact of it as well. So here in Australia, are we taking it too much as a joke?
I'm going to have to start off with Haji Hassan, because he already made a joke about the toilet paper. He's put up a few videos there making fun of us Australians struggling with the toilet paper issue.
Well, it was a joke because, as we have seen, the shopping centres were running out of toilet paper. People were going crazy, as Adrian has said. But we're getting to this serious end of the business now.
Yes.
The situation is, last night there was a meeting in Brisbane here with some leaders and different imams under the banner of the Islamic Council of Queensland, and some ideas were discussed, what we should do here as individual mosques. As Adrian said, 500 people are maximum for any Jummah or any gathering at a centre.
At the moment.
At the moment,
yeah.
and it could go to less. Depends on how this thing spreads. As we know, there's about 300 cases in Australia. About 7 people have passed away.
SubhanAllah.
Now, subhanAllah, that's right. But Italy, of course, have let it spread, and there's about 1,300 people have passed away. So that's the next epicentre in Europe. Now, for us as a community, we've got to pull together. For us as a community, we have got to change our day-to-day attendance to the mosque, meaning we have to have a better hygiene. Sanitisers, carpets cleaning. This was all suggested last night. Carpet cleaning, sanitisers, washing our hands not more than for 20 seconds, I should say, using the right soaps and so on and so forth, drinking sips of water every 10 minutes. These are all things that we can help ourselves with, But the problem is the age of our community. Some of the elderly could get infected. Shaking of hands. We've asked some of the sheikhs, you don't have to shake hands in this climate. Give salams and give the wa alaikum assalam and do the gesture. Basic stuff that we can do every day. Hugging and kissing, forget about that. We can do that maybe after Eid. So we have to be sensible about it. Our children going to school. The schools are still open at this stage, but of course that may change. This is evolving. By the day, by the hour. Really,
Literally by the hour, because speaking to someone this morning, they said, "Oh yeah, this is the stat," and I'm like, "No, that's yesterday's stat. Today's stat." I mean, just this morning, Victoria's already officially declared state of emergency. That's the first state in Australia.
Really?
So like they cannot have gatherings. Like fines will be they'll get hit with fines if there's a Jummah. More than 500 people. We know our masjid's easy 500 people.
So just to cut over to Haji, you guys have got something in place for that 500
inshallah,
people?
we have a meeting tonight at the Gold Coast, and look, we get approximately 800 to 900 people. We will definitely split the Jummah. We'll definitely have a first one and a second one. There's no doubt about that. You know, we have now cancelled any gatherings like akikahs, like weddings, you know, any ceremonies like that at the mosque, because we have halls there, of course. We will be cancelling all of those, and they will be done either in people's houses. They do what they have to do, but at this stage we can't jeopardise the centre, because the centre will be the place that will get affected. You know, all we need is one person to maybe get the virus, and then we will have to contaminate and do things there that we would normally do.
And not a great example, but an example that really highlights that was what happened in Malaysia. They had the Ijtima. There was about 14,000 people that turned up. Malaysia was one of the lower countries in Southeast Asia with the
risk
virus
aspect, yeah.
And they had an Ijtima there. 14,000 people attended. Now, just from that, they had a spike of 240 cases in one day because of that. So the risk is there, and it's airborne. It's easy to be affected.
Thanks for that, Luqman. And also with the local Jamaats that travel around to mosque from interstate, we will now ask them not to attend our mosque for the moment until we get Australia gets us under control. Visiting Jamaats from overseas, if they still come, which I don't think they probably will, but Allah knows better, then we will restrict those to at this stage.
Well, they're going to get stopped, isn't it? I mean, you're
That's
going to go into two-week isolation. So
And look, yesterday I was saying yesterday morning, he said, oh look, New Zealand's the first country to have it.
A lockdown.
Yep, 2-week lockdown, isolation. Now Australia's just implemented it last night. So things are moving really fast.
You received the message now. ACT's on lockdown as well.
ACT
So ACT and Victoria now lockdown as well,
Yeah.
to a degree. So it's things are just going crazy now.
You know, Peter Dutton got it last week. because
Tom
he was in
Hanks got it.
Peter Dutton was in America and got it free of charge, of course, you know, from Donald Trump, I suppose. But, you know, I thought someone said nothing for free these days, but something is coming free. But now he's locked up. They'll probably put him on, what's that island? Christmas Island?
Inshallah.
No, he's not going there.
He's
Definitely
going
not,
there?
mate.
Okay,
Sorry.
Fair enough.
He needs to experience it.
And Tom Hanks is in the Gold Coast Hospital, him and his wife, you know. So all these, you know, things that we don't think are going to happen can happen. You know, as we know, hygiene, as individuals, hygiene is a big deal.
Yes.
You know, they keep telling us, wash your hands, you know, 2 meters distance from each other, you know.
Haji, are you going to implement the hand sanitizers? If you can you find hand sanitizers?
Well, we've got it online, and we hope to get it delivered this week. Yes, we're putting it at each doorway, and we've got wipes now. The wipes will do something, but not as good as sanitizer.
Yes.
Yeah.
We wipe our microphone with the sanitizer now, you know, because people handle those and so on. You know, the door handles are all being sprayed every day. You know,
And just on that note, so after doing a little bit of, you know, after watching a little bit of what's going on, is that, you know, there's these it really makes you kind of understand, right? So they say to wash your hands, there's a process to it. You know what I mean? You got to rub your hands like this. You got to really get your palms, and then you got to really get everything. It's a 20-second thing. And they say, you know, the best method of getting it off your hands is actually with soap and water. So the hand sanitizer does do a little bit, but it's actually washing it off your hands is the thing that does it. But on that note as well, it can stay on any surface for up to 9 days. You know what I mean?
Is it 9 days?
Up to 9 days, you can stay on any surface. It's all dependent on weather. It's all dependent on surfaces, but they say it can stay up onto a surface. So and that's why when we do go into those public arenas, you know, with these large gatherings, and we do not take care of them, you know, there's a high possibility that Kaz might come along, touch it, and then give himself a good rub on the face.
Maybe
they
not.
say that someone touches their face 200 or 300 times a day. unknowingly.
I definitely do that.
You know, I want to touch my nose now, and I've got a big nose.
What's amazing is like you actually see humans in the you get to know what humans are really like in these kind of situations. You get the people that they don't really care. I mean, we know people that it shouldn't affect me. I'm young, I'm healthy.
It shouldn't affect you, but I have to admit that every time I've gone to the shops, I've looked down the toilet roll aisle and the shelves are always empty.
I go there as like an entertainment. I don't need to go to the toilet aisle. My wife's already got heaps.
So you stocked up, did you?
I got a lot of gifts. People gifted me toilet paper.
This is an Indonesian thing. His wife is stocked up. My wife, you should see my cupboard. I've got like 5. But this was before. This was before this whole thing. It's like it's on special. Boom, get it. And the next thing you know, it's a thing. But on that note as well, there are other necessities that are starting to disappear. Baby formula. Tin tomatoes. Baked beans, toothpaste, toothbrush, all these things are starting to disappear. And
I mean, the supermarkets are saying, don't panic buy. We have enough food and bits and pieces for everyone. Just don't panic buy. But the problem is, people are not like us. The situation is, people think, I'm going to get mine before someone else gets it, which is fair enough, because I have children. I've got a wife. I've got mother and father.
Selfish nature.
It is selfish. It's sad, but that's part of human nature too. That me. Instead of we.
I think the sad thing about it as well is seeing those videos, those very distressing and disturbing videos of people actually going at each other.
Look, I want to say something. I 2 Jummers ago, I did a video. Was the last toilet roll at Harbour Town Shopping Centre, Woolworths. So I purchased that, and I bought it for Jumma because I was going to take it home. And someone said, "Had you auction it because you might get some money for the masjid?" So we auctioned it. Within 5 minutes, we raised $10,700.
Subhanallah.
But we went live with this, and I did a bit of live stuff. I didn't think 135,000 people would view it, and it's got shared 1,700 times. It went crazy because people were they thought it was a joke. Of course, it was a bit of a joke to start with, but it got serious. And people are saying, "Can we buy it?"
My wife's looking at hand sanitizer, and I'm thinking, "No, we're not buying that. That's crazy. The price has spiked up." She went fruit and veggie shopping yesterday, and she said, "Look, I can only buy this much because fruit and veggies is just the price has spiked up."
But the price of bananas is almost $5 now. A kilo,
price gouging is everywhere at the moment. And if we all just settle down a bit, and inshallah, nature will take its course.
Businesses are struggling, people are struggling, and then when you do these price hikes, it doesn't help. It just makes it worse.
Well, if you just look at the rugby league, the AFL, now, I think coming down the track, and probably by the end of this week, I think they'd have to cancel. I think that they will have to cancel, because even though they don't have anyone in the stadium, they got the security of their players. Of course, you got all that byproduct.
Yes.
You haven't got the pub, you haven't got the restaurants, you haven't got all the people supplying, all the bits and pieces that go with this package.
I mean, there's 4 of us here, and there's 4 people over behind the scene right now. So in this room alone, there's 10 people.
Yeah. And most of them are breathing. That's what I'm afraid of.
You can see people touching their eyes and nose and be like, stay away.
It's crazy.
But just on that note, there is okay. Imam Luqman mentioned that Victoria's in a state of emergency, ACT is in a state of emergency. The leaders had a little bit of a meeting last night. What is Haji Hassan doing with the Gold Coast Mosque as part of the committee?
Well, as I said earlier, we are sanitising. We've done the carpets last night. Be honest with you, the carpets are all being done, and part of the mosque, and then the other carpets are being sanitised. I mean, this will go on for a little while.
All right, everyone, if you want to go to a clean masjid, if anyone wants to go to a clean masjid, Gold Coast. Everyone, go to Gold Coast. Stay out of Brisbane. Go to Gold Coast.
Soon he'll be having a showering facility as well.
But seriously, I want to put something to you boys. How do you feel the federal government are handling this? One at a time. Don't get carried away, but I want to ask you, Kaz, first.
Okay, me. I think that I know that the federal government's handing out $750 to 6.9 million people or something along that line.
Well, mine hasn't come into the account yet, but I suppose it'll come in this week. But keep going.
I think they should be giving everyone that $750. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
The reason for
No,
that
but
is
I'm handling the whole thing, the border control, the control of all the other bits and pieces that they've come up with. You know.
No, I think a lot of work still needs to be done. I mean, a lot of these organisations, I guess they're doing as best that they can. You also got situations where, knowing governments, funding's been cut to a lot of these areas. I mean, a classic example was during this bushfire period where funding was cut to certain things, and then something happened, and there wasn't the necessary funds were not there, which left the community reeling, and the general population to sort of try to raise funds and sort of get things done.
I mean,
so this is the thing,
$17-18 billion are on the table to support Australia.
Yeah.
Because we will, and I hope we don't, we'll go into a recession.
Yeah.
That's where the stimulus has got to come in, and that's why everyone's got to get that stimulus. That's my view.
And
that's my view on it.
We'll only see the evidence of this in the next quarter.
Yeah.
As a business person, all of us are here, some sort of business people.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
We need people to spend, but the other problem is spending when there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
Meaning, everyone should be tightening their belt. Is a situation going to happen that businesses, restaurants, general businesses will have to tighten their belt. Staff will be maybe laid off.
Yeah.
The $17 billion put on the table now is probably not the end of the road for the government.
Yeah.
But there's a silver lining though, because people won't be travelling overseas. What happens previously, the government's concern was people take that money, they go to Bali.
Overseas.
What's happening? We can't travel overseas. We're going to keep that money. We're going to spend it
Inside the country,
and
hopefully.
inshallah, it'll go towards our primary industry, our farmers, and all those things because there's no fruit and veggies right now. That will support them, and it's a flow down effect. Inshallah, we can't see it right now, but inshallah, it'll help all those businesses down the track, including ourselves.
I mean, you got airlines.
Yeah.
They have reduced their fleet by 30%. Am I right or wrong?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
The share market has dropped by 27%. The Australian share market, forget about America, I don't know what that'll open up tomorrow. But definitely the Australian share market is down by about 25 to 27%. We haven't hit rock bottom yet.
Yeah.
Is it a great time to buy? Yes, it could be a great time to buy. I'm waiting. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Which shares? Tell us now quickly.
I
So
can't
we
tell
all
you
know.
what it
No,
is.
come on, mate.
Gold Coast
Give us the secrets, man.
No, but these sort of things will happen. And of course, like you said, Sheikh, that there will be some bargains out there in different areas.
Yep.
But the problem is this. People don't have that type of money to outlay.
Yeah, 100%.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And when you get big companies like Qantas, Virgin, and some of the... I heard Target at Carindale closed because one person had it. One of the staff members had it.
Yeah, yeah.
Subhanallah.
Well, I do a bit of work for... I'll give them a little bit of a plug because they're going through hell at the moment. I do a little bit of work for Flight Centre. I was at a Flight Centre. And
Flight Centre? They closed 100 stores.
100 stores, yeah. I was actually talking to a lady there and she said that she was processing 8 cancellations on that particular
That'll be a
day.
good share later on.
Yeah. Some
Inshallah,
share advice,
they get through.
stock advice with Haji Hassan Goss. I'm going to give you your own segment, Chef.
But on that note as well, on that note, you said before about the government policy. I don't think anybody really took it seriously until over the last couple of days.
Yeah, no.
Over the last week.
I think that
And me
everyone's
myself-
reeling. Sorry, everyone's reeling to take the government seriously because ScoMo himself was struggling to take himself seriously. You know what I mean?
We had a representative last night at the meeting,
Yeah.
and she was from the education. She works with Queensland Education, and what will happen? They may extend the children or the kids' holidays like a week before and a week after to give that 1 month.
Yeah.
To give 1 month virtually because of this virus.
Yeah, that's what I need more of my kids at home right now. Awesome. But one thing that
They won't close the schools. They believe this will become a big drama, a big problem because parents, workers have to look after their children at home and so on and so forth.
costs money.
Costs money.
We haven't planned for it. If they close schools, where am I going to put my kids? They're going to have to come to work, and every single workplace is going to be a childcare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adrian doesn't mind your kids running around.
No,
Alhamdulillah.
I love your kids. They're beautiful kids.
Yeah, they are cute.
They're beautiful
They're
kids.
cute. MashaAllah. One of the things that our government really suffered is because we've never had such a thing. You know, SARS came through, MERS came through. It never came to Australia.
No.
It was just like something in this fantasy land.
See, our situation is right now, because the Northern Hemisphere are copping it. We haven't copped it yet.
No.
It's still coming.
We are now coming into winter.
Yeah.
And what we get in winter, we get our normal flu. We get also the coronavirus, which will double up. And this is the situation. That what happens, that the government are worried that ICU units will be full. Then they have to make a decision. Does the 60-year-old go in there, or do you put the 80-year-old in there? Which is sad. We hope it doesn't come to that. But that's what they're speaking about. Because when all the ICU units are filled up, where do the people go?
Well, I want to flip this. I want to flip this table around. Are we sitting here creating a panic though?
I don't think we're creating a panic. I think it's really. Me personally, like I said,
This program is for an awareness. This is
Exactly.
to inform the community. Be alert.
Yeah.
Do your part.
Yeah.
Do your part, because at the end of the day, nobody else will.
Yeah.
Believe in Allah, as the sheikhs will tell us. Have faith in Allah, no problem.
100%.
But we have to do our part.
Yes.
Yeah. Tie your camel.
We plan,
Yeah.
but Allah is a better planner. As the
Yeah.
sheikh said earlier, you may go down the road and get knocked over and get killed. But nobody said walk in front of the car. Okay? Don't put your head in the fire. You know you're going to get burnt. Do your homework. Tie your camel.
Yeah. 100%.
100%. And like, look, with all this,
And with the Muslim community, with the Muslim community, we're a bit blasé.
Yeah.
We'll be right. She'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we understand that she'll be okay
Yeah.
because our faith is in Allah. But Allah SWT says, do
the right
your
thing.
part. Do your part. I'll do my part.
yes.
You plan, but I'm a better planner.
Yeah. But we do have to take it seriously. Like, we look at the images and we go, oh, why are people buying toilet paper? Why are people buying toilet paper? It doesn't matter. You got to look past that, and we got to take it seriously. So for me, we're not creating panic. We're just creating the awareness aspect of it, and also highlighting the fact that, hey, look, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is a thing that's happening all around the world, and could happen to.
Look, there's a lot of news about it, and it's look. I'm not playing it down, but I just want to know, is there too much information going out and people just drowning in it, and now we're creating this fear, this unnecessary fear.
Sheikh, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Yes.
Too much is better than not enough.
Yeah.
And that's what we said last night at the meeting. Better to have more out there, and if you sieve through some of it, take some of it in, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. But not only that, like, it just goes to show, like, instead of going to the movies, if you go to the movies, stay at home. Instead of going out to the park, you know, have a nice picnic in the backyard or something, you know. Make it's minor adjustments in your life to protect yourself and your family, and also, you know, don't be too panicky when you go out to go and buy shops.
But I think
looking
looking to the future. I mean, we've got as a Muslim community, we've got Ramadan coming around the corner,
Yes.
and it's normally a time where people get together and it's festive, and I think it's exactly right. I think now it's sort of put a massive damper
Well,
on
I
things
mean,
to a
we're
degree.
probably one of the only mosques in Australia that do the whole 28 days or 30 days of iftar.
What's happening with that?
And,
Chef?
you know, since I've been involved in mosque from day one, we haven't missed a year. But I can tell you something now, I don't wish to want to miss a year. But I honestly say that we may have to close down the iftar program. And it's a great program. It brings people
it's
together.
awesome.
It brings the community together, and it brings the wider community together. People
yeah.
come from Brisbane and from wider areas just for the iftar and have that unity, have that brotherhood and sisterhood together. But I'm honestly saying that I don't think, and we'll probably discuss this tonight, inshallah, that we may have to put it on hold. Sad, but I think this is the climate we're in, you know.
I mean, there's
You know.
going to be
But-
discussion around
But with
Tarawih.
all due respect, I will still put the iftar boxes there. I still want to collect. Why? Ask me why. Ask me.
So we can.
No, ask me why.
Okay. Why, Haji?
That's it. Ask me.
Why?
Because we still have people around the world
Yeah.
that need to be
Need
fed.
100%.
Okay? And you'll still get the reward. Don't think because we're not going to have iftar that we don't have to give. This is the time to give more.
Yeah,
This is the
100%.
time to put your best foot forward, put your best money forward, because inshallah you'll get double the reward.
I mean.
Inshallah. Look, I mean, That's exactly it. The other day, the sadaqah box was coming through, and I thought, look, I got to make intention for this, and I made intention. Look, put barakah in everyone's wealth, and also keep everyone safe. So when we're doing things now, we really need to think about the intention. Yeah. Really, that dollar can go really far with a good intention.
Don't wait for iftar. Every Friday, every day you go to mosque, give something. No matter what mosque you're going to, give something. Your sadaqah will protect you.
No.
The ulama will tell us your sadaqah will protect you. Give more. Don't say, I gave $20 on Friday. Give $20 every day.
No.
If you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you have that belief, inshallah, then do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the masjids are going to suffer now because we're going to, low attendance is going to be low donation. The masjids now are going to have to upgrade their cleaning. They're going to have to hire more people, buy more equipment. So it's the time now to give to the masjids, give to these places which we all benefit from. Inshallah, the plague will pass soon.
Inshallah.
One of the interesting things that I saw the other day was that in Italy, they were doing their mass.
They were singing their chants from
and they were like 3 people apart, 3 meters apart from each other. So inshallah that doesn't happen.
Well, the video got video got sent out today of guys making Jamaat Salah like 2-3 meters apart.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay, so what's happening in Italy is now happening for our Muslim community.
But inshallah, this is a lesson for all of us.
Yeah.
The lesson is that you have family, you have friends, you have masjids, you have places of worship.
Yeah.
When you can't get it, you'll want to crave for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone that's listening should think about this very carefully, because the opportunity will come that you may not be able to go to your masjid one day.
Yeah.
So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala testing us in many different ways.
Yeah.
That what we should be doing is, we have an opportunity to go to the masjid, then we should go. Okay? And worship him, because that's what he wants us. He doesn't need us, but we need him.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's a sad scene. We've all seen the footage of Masjid al-Haram empty. No one's making tawaf, and you kind of wonder, when is that ever going to happen?
But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the birds to do the tawaf.
So it's just, again, there's reminders for us in everything. It's just about us looking for it. Now it's a time when we can't go, masjid restrictions coming up. It's a test for us. Hey, you know what? Did it really affect me?
Yeah.
Do I personally feel sad that I can't go to the masjid, or I can only go there for a short period of time? I mean, it's a litmus test.
I think it's a time now as well for us as the Muslim community as well to set up little programs where we can sort of just have a couple of buddies and in a sense that look after each other, check up on each other, check on others,
especially the elderly.
Exactly right. Yeah. So
also, I think we need to kind of educate the people as well on a more basic level. Like, again, how to actually wash your hands and just to be aware of your surroundings when you're touching these surfaces. Because I feel like that there is no basic education on these.
Yeah, we run classes at the masjid, and one of the students a couple of weeks ago already is like, you know what? I'm coming to class, I'm not touching you. And this is our community, right? We're like, Corona. It was literally like that, Corona. But now everyone's in class like, oh, should we turn up to class? And now we're trying to make an announcement, guys, it's not 500 yet.
But just on that note, it's all about like basic hygiene. You know what I mean? I think there needs to be a little bit more education, public education on the small facts.
Share Haji Hassan's video on washing the hands. I think will be your go-to, because he made a video about that, and that's going viral at the moment as well. So
check that one out. So how do you because they say it's 2 happy birthdays. You have to sing 2 happy birthdays. So what's the equivalent? So what's the time?
Realistically, they say you should
20 seconds.
Rinse for 20 seconds, and scrub your hands, of course, like a doctor. In between the fingers and so on and so forth. It's common sense stuff. Of course, the more you wash them, inshallah, we hope that the virus will not be on your hands.
But it's not only that, right? Did you know you can tell your Uber driver that you want him to drop off the food, and then you pick it up. So and also on that note, so it will come off if it's cooked food, but if the person that has coronavirus and touches your salad, you could possibly get it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's airborne. You can get it from some, because those masks, I checked out, it doesn't really do anything because you can get it through your eyes. So they're saying, like, there's no real point wearing, okay, inshallah, tying your camel. But again, the infection can come through your eyes. We're washing our hands here. Our elbows, our foreheads, all that stuff eventually touch something. I know we're shampooing the carpet and everything like that. But again, at the end of the day, it's tawakkul ala Allah.
Ameen.
Tying our camels and making sure, in our capability, what can we do to protect ourselves? So we all need to start wearing gloves as well, inshallah.
I just want to know where Imam Luqman and Haji Hassan go shopping, because they both look very good today.
I went to iCare to get this shirt, and I found out, where did you get yours?
I got mine on iCare too.
So iCare is the place to be for
So
this.
Kaz,
Must have been out of the same bag. Alhamdulillah.
so just before we wrap up, final words, Haji?
Well, I just wanted to inform everyone that will listen to this, inshallah. Like you said, don't be alarmed. Just be aware.
Yes.
And we're just here to provide whatever information that we have to the wider community.
Yeah.
And may Allah protect everyone.
And from the parents' perspective, Imam Luqman, Kaz?
What the only thing that I would like to say is that to the Muslim community, the people going out there, is just be a good representative of Islam when you're in the shops, because
100%.
no, because literally I was there yesterday and I had people like I witnessed people screaming at each other, and it was just disgusting.
The last thing I want to see is a Muslim
Exactly
screaming,
right.
fighting
Yeah.
over toilet paper. We don't need toilet
Yeah,
paper.
yeah. So, but when you're out there, if it's a last roll and you've missed it, khair, inshallah. You put it on a WhatsApp group. I'm sure a brother, sister, uncle, someone will be able to give you a couple of rolls to cut you over while the stores are being resupplied. But yeah, rather not risk embarrassing yourself and embarrassing the community.
As a matter of fact, if anybody's, I've got like 5 24 packs.
I need one. Can I get one?
This
Are
was
you selling it?
no. This was before everything was a thing. I just want to make
Okay,
that.
hold on.
realize
So you want to make this is an Indonesian thing, yeah?
This
You
is an
started
Indonesian thing. It was on special, and we got 5 packets, and I've got 4
I
left.
didn't think
so.
Indonesians use paper.
No, I did not. Hey, Haji, aloe vera tissue boxes.
Oh, my
5 of them sitting in there.
Mashallah,
Subhanallah.
alhamdulillah. Can you bring some to the studio? Like, I think we have tissues here as well. Can you bring some? Do you mind?
But Imam Luqman,
On a serious note, everyone here knows of businesses that are suffering.
Yes.
Seriously, people are scared. People are not buying. So businesses are suffering. People genuinely are suffering. People are scared. We've changed our habits. So whilst we're making dua for ourselves, everyone here is going through their own personal challenge because of this crisis. Make dua for all those other people as well.
No.
And if we can make dua for the Muslims and non-Muslims that are going through this genuinely, the last thing we want to know is that shops upon shops have closed down. Just on Ferguson Street, where our studio is, where the parking is, I've noticed it's easy to get parking today. I had to go grab my car just now, and I can see it's empty. Usually we have to drive around 5 minutes to find parking. There are parkings available. That is telling us something.
Sheikh, let's add to it. Let's tell everyone to support our brothers and sisters that have businesses.
Yes.
Don't eliminate yourself from them. Support them, because we'll need them when this is all over.
Yes, I want to make a shout out to I think a Uyghur restaurant on Main Road in
Yes, I was
Sunnybank.
about to do
It's
exactly
from
the same
our
thing.
student.
Yeah.
The father, they're really suffering. No one's been to his shop for so long. So if we do, please go support these our Muslim shops. Of course, we're going to only eat halal, but these restaurants are really struggling. It's so sad. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah. Where's that shop?
In Sunnybank, I think on Main Road. It's
Main Road.
it's a Uyghur restaurant. So again, being associated
Even the Uyghur
with
restaurant
China.
that's just at Underwood as well, Underwood the shopping centre as well. I think they're struggling too, because people are just like, racism is just like, they think it's all
Exactly. He told me about 4 weeks ago. He actually told me 4 weeks ago my restaurant's suffering right now, and it's just gotten worse. So inshallah, Allah
Please.
make it easy. Please
Ameen.
keep
Ameen.
everyone in your du'as.
Jazakallah kull khair for coming in and joining us on this podcast, Imam Luqman. This was an eye opener. I think it's something that we have to take seriously,
Yeah.
and we need to really rely on the community leaders out there to provide us more with better education on basic hygienes and just to keep us updated, inshallah ta'ala. But jazakallah for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Imam Abdurrahim from Academy Alive. I've got a very, very, very special one-time offer exclusively for you today. Access the Quran Alive Learning Management System where you can gain the skills to translate anywhere in the Quran from the comfort of your own home in your own time, with direct access to hundreds of hours of recorded material. You'll get one-on-one access to our scholars through our weekly group webinars and private mentoring sessions, who have over 60 years of combined teaching experience, teaching students from the ages of 12 to 72 years old, who can now confidently translate the Quran. How does that sound? You'll get the chance to access the Academy Alive publications. You do not want to miss out on this limited time special 30-day trial of the Quran Alive course. Click the link below to join our mentorship program, Coaching Through the Quran. Embark on your journey today.